obvious one, two. Hey, good morning. Unicorn Day. So, are they real? The ancient Greeks thought that they were real. There's some fun facts about that. There were unicorn soap stamps found from the Bronze Age. So, apparently, the idea of unicorns has been around for a long, long time. So, I'm going to be sprinkling in some unicorn fun facts for today. Yeah, we'll see what today brings. It seems. Oh, shoot. I got to jump on the air. Ooh, I should probably pay attention. Here we go. And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Roseville. Currently, it is 45 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today, a very balmy 76 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now to the Fox Business Report.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wow.
Google is making more of its own chips that can handle artificial
warm-ish.
intelligence. The Wall Street Journal says
Okay, we got this, and we got a commercial, and then I got to figure out what I'm going to talk about to announce. Let's do the spring event, which means we need to continue. Welcome to Apple Music. All right, did it update? I was listening to Beyonce's new country song yesterday, and it's pretty good. Beyonce can do country. It's pretty awesome. All right, we're going to do 4 seasons. Oh, jeez. There you go. We'll do that for the Spring Festival on Lincoln.
I'm Martha Stewart.
Hi, Martha.
Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States.
You don't say.
My friends at American Humane have been helping.
Bring that back up.
1877. Safe shelter.
All right, so spring event, festival, Lincoln Way, family-friendly event, free entry for everybody, cornhole tournament.
Please consider adopting today.
Is it actually Auburn DBA events? I always think I'm saying that wrong.
You can see them at night,
and every day they steal from you.
Any device with a visual display, home light, or sleep mode steals.
All right, and then we'll announce Mary Jane's show. Mary Jane has a new show coming out. Pop Talk in Search of Truth. In Search of Truth. 5 to 7 on Saturdays, 9 to 11 p.m. on Sundays.
And turn
Be able to say that. Okay.
Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
16 minutes past the top of the hour here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Ooh, that delightful music, Vivaldi's 4 Seasons. Oh, what's that all about? Well, that is talking about the Spring Festival. You get a Seasons Festival spray. Adam, I don't know if we can make that connection. Well, we'll try and make it. Anyway, downtown Auburn's Spring Festival happening on Lincoln Way. This is a family-friendly event, free entry for everybody. It's going to be Saturday, April 20th, so plenty of time to get it on the calendar, gang. It's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. right in downtown Auburn. There's going to be live music, food vendors, craft vendors, kids play area, and get a load of this. Aces baseball team is hosting a cornhole tournament. If you want to find out more or sign up as a vendor, you can email auburndbaevents@gmail.com. Again, that's auburndbaevents@gmail.com. Again, it's downtown Auburn's Spring Festival on Lincoln Way, family-friendly event, free entry for everybody. That's going to be on Saturday, April 20th from 4 to 8 p.m. Again, live music, food vendors, craft vendors, kids play area. There's going to be a cornhole tournament. What is not to love about this? You can check it out on Saturday, April 20th on Lincoln Way. Back with more right after this.
Harris for home insurance, here to say you are only as good.
Check it out for more. Check out
home
more.
Insurance. We represent and work with 5-star
right.
A-rated carriers that are the best.
Coming up
at what they
next.
do. Whether it's general liability for your business,
So we got rid of that. Went through that.
At Homer, we will find you the very.
And then we've got
best
sports
saving
ball.
businesses.
Sports ball coming up
What we
next.
do every
Okay.
day. What better time to save big money on your your insurance then right now. We saved a beauty salon $2,200. We saved a general contractor $4,700, and we saved a private school.
What else happened today? There's some fun facts that happened
No matter
today.
what you do,
First
you deserve
Boeing
to have the best
737
insurance
takes off on its maiden
service.
flight in
Call
1967.
916-339-7770.
Germany invades Denmark and Norway in 1940.
It takes
Ooh,
one quick
thanks.
call to 916-339-7070, and in minutes you'll see what Homer can do for you. Call right now.
18 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, Sports Ball. Did the Kings play yesterday? No, they didn't. But I'll tell you when they play again. Also, we'll have some MLB scores, some NCAA scores. That's right, NCAA. Records being broken left and right there in that college basketball. We'll check all that out and more. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
Good Tuesday morning, America's First News.
Tuesday morning to you, Matt.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida begins a much anticipated
Okay,
visit to
there
Washington today,
is
aiming to
a
spotlight
swap that I
concerns
need to
about
do
provocative
here
Chinese military action in the Pacific
because
and at a rare
we want to
moment of
make
public
we want to put
difference
something
between
better
the two
there.
nations
So
over a
let's
Japanese company's plans to buy an iconic
click on
U.S.
this little
company.
category
Kishida and his
here,
wife
and
will stop
then
by the
I
White House
can
Tuesday evening ahead of Wednesday's official visit for a formal state dinner. As President
drag and
Joe
drop
Biden
stuff,
looks to
which
celebrate a decades-long ally he
which is
sees as
super
the
fun.
cornerstone of his Indo-Pacific policy.
You know what? I'm going to put
Kishida
some
will be the fifth world
shameless
leader honored by Biden with a state dinner
self-promotion
since he took
here.
office in 2021.
Adam, the producer, you're going in.
Christians, former
Putting
President
you in.
Donald Trump delivered in 4 years what no other Republican before him had been able to do. A conservative majority Supreme
That
Court
one.
that would go on to overturn Roe v. Wade, with abortion rights now
Okay,
controlled by each
here we
state
go.
rather than legalized nationwide by the 1973 court.
Okay, I didn't mention Mary Jane's show. Well, that's all right.
If
If you were born on April 9th, you were likely conceived the week of July 17th. It's always fun to know that,
what my
I
position
guess.
is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something.
In
that
1882, Jumbo the elephant arrived in America. His name popularized the term
he ended.
Jumbo.
Roe
There you
v.
go.
Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept
Even
of
beyond the
having
9th
an abortion in the later months and even
They support.
execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that.
None of that is actually happening. Some anti-abortion religious leaders criticized Trump's approach, while others gave thanks for Trump's past anti-abortion wins and vowed to keep pressing for federal restrictions.
I want to thank the 6 justices, Chief Justice John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch, incredible people, for having the courage to allow this long-term, hard-fought battle to finally end. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing.
Vice President Kamala Harris slammed Trump for bragging about helping overturn Roe v. Wade.
The former president, yet again, declaring how proud he is of his responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. He yet again said he's proudly responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. And one has to ask, proudly responsible that 1 in 3 women of reproductive age now live in a state with an abortion ban? Proudly responsible that doctors and nurses can now be jailed in some states for life for providing care? Proudly responsible that states have passed bans with no exception even for rape or incest? And let's all be very clear, if he were to be put back in a position where he could sign off on a law, he would sign off on a national abortion ban. Let's be very clear about that. And that obviously makes the contrast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump quite clear. We are very clear, and Joe Biden has been clear. If Congress passes a law reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade, Joe Biden will sign it into law. So we protect and we believe in a woman's decision and ability to make a decision based on what is in her best interest, not having her government tell her what to do.
Senator Lindsey Graham, one of Trump's congressional backers and a supporter of a 15-week national ban, said he respectfully disagreed with Trump over abortion being an issue for the states. Mike Pence, who served as his vice president on X, called the stance a slap in the face to millions of pro-life Americans who have previously backed Trump. President Joe Biden said Monday that more than 30 million borrowers would see life-changing relief from his new plan to ease their student loan debt burdens, a fresh attempt by the Democratic president to follow through on a campaign pledge that could buoy his standing with younger voters. He detailed the initiative, which has been in the works for months, during a trip to Wisconsin, one of a handful of battlegrounds that could decide the outcome of Biden's likely November rematch with Trump.
Today, I'm proud to announce 5 major actions to continue to relieve student debt for more than 30 million Americans since I started my administration. First, my administration will propose a new rule to cancel up to $20,000 in runaway interest for any borrower that owes more now than when they started paying the loan. It's a big difference. And for low and middle class families enrolled in my SAVE program, will cancel all of your interest. And second, we plan to cancel student debt for borrowers who still owe student loans, even though they started repaying them more than 2 decades ago. Folks, third, we plan to cancel debt for about 2 million borrowers who would be eligible for debt forgiveness through the SAVE program. Fourth, we plan to cancel debt for borrowers who the Department of Education determines were cheated by universities that left students in unaffordable loans and delivered little in benefits to students. And you know one of those colleges was closed. I won't mention it. And finally, the Department of Education will propose a new rule to cancel student debt for Americans facing financial hardships, from child care to health care, to prevent them from paying back their loans.
Biden originally attempted to cancel people's student debt through executive action, but now he's turned to the rulemaking process. The president hopes to begin forgiving student debt before the November election. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics announced a policy Monday that bans transgender athletes from competing in women's sports at its 241 mostly small colleges across the country. The NAIA Council of Presidents approved the policy in a 20-0 vote. It oversees some 83,000 athletes competing in more than 25 sports and is believed to be the first college sports organization to take such a step. According to the transgender participation policy, which goes into effect in August, all athletes may participate in NAIA-sponsored male sports, but only athletes whose biological sex assigned at birth is female and have not begun hormone therapy will be allowed to participate in women's sports. For the 10th consecutive month, Earth in March set a new monthly record for global heat, with both air temperatures and the world's oceans hitting an all-time high for the month, according to the European Union's climate agency. Copernicus said March of 2024 averaged 57.9 degrees Fahrenheit, exceeding the previous record from 2016 by 1/10 of a degree, and it was 3 degrees warmer than in the late 1800s, the base used for temperatures before the burning of fossil fuels began growing rapidly. Since the last June, the globe has broken heat records each month, with marine heat waves across large areas of the globe's oceans contributing. Asian stocks were mostly higher Tuesday, with investors mainly focusing on a U.S. inflation report and what it means for interest rate cuts by the Fed Reserve. An update on the U.S. Consumer Price Index is due out later Wednesday. U.S. stock indexes were at a virtual standstill Monday as trading calmed after a whirlwind couple of days left them a bit shy of their records. A string of reports showing inflation and the economy have remained hotter than expected has led investors to delay forecasts for when relief on rates could arrive. Millions across North America witnessed the moon black out the sun during a total solar eclipse Monday. The path of totality stretched from Mazatlan, Mexico to Newfoundland, an area that crossed 15 U.S. states and home to 44 million people. Most of those in North America, but not in the direct path, still saw a partial eclipse, with the moon transforming the sun into a fiery crescent. Totality's first stop on land cast Mazatlan sparkling beaches into darkness before continuing northeast toward Eagle Pass, Texas, one of its first stops in the U.S. Total solar eclipses happen about every year or 2 or 3 due to a precise alignment of the sun, moon, and earth. They can happen anywhere across the globe, usually in remote areas like the South Pacific. The next full solar eclipse will happen in 2026. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way on this Tuesday morning. It's the 9th day of April. We're just getting started. Grab the coffee and let's go.
America's First News.
Hey everyone, Joanne Butler here with Spring Must Have. We have this going on. Let's start with Starbucks. Well, they're making it even better right now for spring. Celebrating big time with 2 new lavender
Now, time for another Otis advisory.
Fun burglars, they're in charge, and the big shakedown is in high gear. When the gum stuck under your desk looks better than what's left on the shelf at the store, you have landed in the new America. And Joey's not going to do anything. When they ask him if he has cataracts, he said, "No, I have viewings." So lower your expectations, cries the intelligentsia, while the nice congressman lady from Brooklyn looks for a new trade route to your wallet. Fun burglars, they like it when you're worried, because you're easier to scare. So no more Halloween and no orange of any kind anywhere in the building, ever. Got it? No Christmas either. And if your house is infested with men, they're going to need to tone it down and change into pajamas while they get over the insult of turkey bacon.
All right, here we go. Ooh, I forgot to change my timer here. All right, and sports ball,
Remember, socialism
MLB.
when the sewer backs up.
And
Sure,
we're going to
you can
go
still buy
to
toilet
sports
water at the
ball
mall,
notes that I
but
made
it
here.
doesn't mean you're
Yes,
cured.
I made sports
It's
ball
critical
notes.
Otis theory. And remember, your Uncle
And who are we gonna
decoder ring to pick up
shout
all
out?
the hidden messages in this stupid bit. That drives them crazy.
Newcastle.
Otis.
And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Newcastle. Currently 46 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 72 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it. We're going to start on the hardwood. We're going to start with college basketball, though. Sports ball, here we go. UConn goes back-to-back. The UConn men's basketball team handled Purdue in last night's NCAA title game 75-60 to become the first repeat champions since the Florida Gators in 2006-2007. The Huskies made it look easy, beating their 6 opponents in the tournament by an average margin of 23.3 points. They've now won 12 straight tournament games by double digits going back to last year. On the women's side, the TV ratings are in for the South Carolina-Iowa final. A massive 18.7 million people watched the game, the largest audience for a basketball game, college or pro, since 2019, and that is from the Morning Brew. Taking a look at the MLB right now, we've got LA versus the Dodgers. Yesterday, Dodgers win that one 4-2. Astros versus the Rangers, a little Texas battle there. Astros win that one 10-5. Rockies versus the D-backs. Rockies win that one 7-5. Nationals versus the Giants. Nationals win that one 8-1. Padres versus the Cubbies. Padres just squeak out a win there. Win that one 9-8. Going back to the NBA. Oh, and also the White Sox versus the Guardians that paused briefly for the eclipse yesterday. The Guardians ended up winning that one 4-0. The Kings. It's basketball, it's baseball, it's all mixed up here. Kings will be playing here tomorrow. Actually, no, today. They'll be playing today versus Oklahoma City. That will be on KAHI here, so you can catch all the action here at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Again, A's versus Oklahoma. Oh, my goodness gracious. I got to get back into basketball here. That's what I do when I stick to a lane. Do basketball first, and then do baseball, and then we won't get it all mixed up here. So, again, Kings. There we go. Kings playing on KAHI tonight versus Oklahoma City. That's starting at 5 o'clock. Today. All right, we're going to go to commercial now. We'll be back with your KAHI weather right after this.
Host of Radio Law Talk, the most exciting, entertaining, and sometimes informative radio show on earth. Listen to us live on KAHI, the voice of the foothills, every Saturday morning here at FM 104.5 and AM 950. You can also find us on KAHI.com and the KAHI app. Remember, that's Radio Law Talk, live 9 to noon every Saturday. Right here on KAHI, AM and FM,
Timmy, you're up.
The voice of the foothills.
Good Tuesday morning, dry, sunny weather in the forecast for the next few days. It'll be up around 70 today, 75.
70 degrees today. That's not bad.
Thursday,
all right, did the A's play yesterday? I don't think I even saw the A's.
And light variable winds expected. Mostly clear tonight. That overnight temperature.
Yeah,
45
I guess the A's didn't play.
And Wednesday,
all right, well, good to know.
Around 50. Friday,
all right,
mostly
we'll
sunny
close
in the
that tab.
mid-60s. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.
All right, Adam, you're up.
950 KAHI.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the Morning along with Matt Ray in America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the Morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
33 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, hey, we're going to have a little bit of a shorter one because we've got the meddlers meeting today because it's Tuesday. We'll have your California Ag Report and some updates of events around town. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Good morning on this Tuesday, 34 minutes past the hour. America's First News continues. And a deal to release hostages held in Gaza is difficult but doable. According to Israeli opposition leader,
Tales from a Road Ranger.
Monday after he and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken discussed the need for Israel and Hamas to resolve their conflict.
Yeah, let's do that.
Lapid's visiting Washington as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces pressure at home and abroad.
Book launch party, Tales from a Road, Rose McHenry. New book, Tales from a Road Ranger. It's going to be this Sunday, April 14th. Is that this Sunday?
Long-lasting project.
I think it is this Sunday.
And we are thankful for the support of the American administration to Israel in one of maybe
this Sunday. Let me pull up the calendar. This Sunday, April 14th at 2024. It's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m. Canyon View Community Center. Activities. Okay, does your website have?
Back to the families and marshals yesterday in under the Beacon Center, and there are enough good people in the Israeli government. We feel so.
More about Trip Tales.
Will give a security net to the government in order to do the hostage deal.
Bring
we
cash.
need to bring them back home. I will not go into the details of this deal or operational details about Rafah and elsewhere, but we need to
price for drinks, book signings are free, but bring checks if they want it. Selling Tales from Road Ranger. Also Trip Tales. Okay, she'll be DuckTales.
And we have to make sure bystanders and
also
collateral damage.
Book is online at triptalesbook.com. Yep. Triptalesbook.com.
So we need to make sure we do our best in order to avoid hurting.
Perfect. We've got the next announcement. Book launch party. Free for everybody. There's going to be fun activities, prizes, author talk, and book signing.
Israel has finally allowed aid to flow.
Right.
We also welcome the announcement by the IDF establishing a coordination unit for deconfliction.
5 minutes, everybody.
Shout out
Placerville.
Humanitarian community.
Be the next one.
More than 200 humanitarian workers have been killed.
Off now to record the news, and let's hide in here.
On the need to improve its deconfliction and coordination measures. The creation of this new unit, which is something President Biden raised directly with Prime Minister Netanyahu on their call last week, and which Secretary Blinken has raised in his meetings with Israeli officials, can contribute to the safety of those who are working tirelessly to bring relief to the Palestinian people. We will be observing closely its establishment to verify that it operates as intended to ensure humanitarian workers can do their jobs as safely as possible.
Miller wouldn't say why Israel changed its policy after 6 months of war, but President Joe Biden had warned Netanyahu for the first time that U.S. support could be conditioned on Israel doing more to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza and protecting civilians. Israel withdrew troops from Khan Yunis, another city in southern Gaza, ending a key phase of the war. Defense officials say they're regrouping ahead of a push into Rafah. Israel's military said it killed the commander of Hezbollah's secretive Radwan force in southern Lebanon.
Checking all the messages. No messages.
Israeli attack last week on Iran's
Different
consulate
day.
in Syria, threatening to spark a wider conflict. Iran's
All
foreign
right,
minister
here we
Monday
go.
accused the United States of giving
Back
Israel the
after
green light
this.
for the strike, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Iran and its proxies, the most destabilizing force in the Middle East. We see this every day in Yemen, the Red Sea, in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria. They have little regard for peace and little regard for their fellow citizens of the Middle East. So here's the question I've been asked by some of you, and that is, what are we doing to prepare? I know the president and his team are working hard to prevent escalation and are prepared to defend any attack and respond swiftly if necessary. Look, tensions in the Middle East are very high, That's why we want to pass the National Security Supplemental. It's critical, and we are all urging Speaker Johnson to put it on the floor of the House. It passed the Senate in a large bipartisan majority with 70 votes.
The Iranian foreign minister justified his claims by saying that Washington and 2 European countries didn't condemn the attack on the diplomatic building, which, quote, indicates that Washington had given the green light to Israel to commit the crime. The Biden administration insisted it had no advanced knowledge of the airstrike. A New York appeals court judge Monday rejected Donald Trump's bid to delay his April 15th hush money criminal trial while he mounts a last-minute fight to move the case out of Manhattan, foiling the former president's latest attempt to put off the historic trial. Trump's attorneys tried to postpone the trial indefinitely while they sought a change of venue, contending the presumptive Republican nominee faces potential prejudice in heavily Democratic Manhattan, and said the jury pool's been polluted by news coverage of Trump's other criminal cases. His hush money trial is the first of his 4 indictments slated to go to trial. It would be the first criminal trial ever of a former president. Turning to sports this morning, and UConn delivered the latest of its suffocating basketball beatdowns Monday, smothering Purdue with a 75-60 victory, becoming the first team since 2007 to capture back-to-back national titles. Kristen Newton scored 20 points for the Huskies. UConn won its 6th overall title and joined the 2006-07 Florida Gators and the 91-92 Duke Blue Devils as just the 3rd team to repeat since John Wooden's UCLA dynasty of the 60s and the 70s. Coach Dan Hurley on the trophy stand.
Gotta get used to this up here, and the confetti, the trophy, number 6, baby, number 6, Jersey City.
You talked about this being an opportunity to cement your legacy. Look, with that 6th title, only 3 other teams have that many. We're talking UCLA, Kentucky, and North Carolina. UConn in that group now. What was your message to them pregame?
I mean, the message was, that we were the best team in the country. Purdue is clearly the 2nd best team in the country. Play to our identity, be who we've been the whole year. We'll be champions. And UConn's been running for the last 25, 30 years. UConn's been running college basketball, and I see all the former champs over there, and We've been running college basketball the last 30 years. Let's go.
UConn was efficient on offense, but won with defense. The Huskies limited the country's 2nd-best three-point shooting team to a mere 7 shots beyond the arc and only a single made, while happily allowing 7'4" AP Player of the Year Zach Edey to go for 37 points on 25 shot attempts. On the diamond, Juan Soto hit a 3-run homer in the 4th inning off Jesus Luzardo, and the New York Yankees romped the Miami Marlins 7-0. Soto hit his first home run in the Bronx in the pinstripes.
Soto, fly ball, down the right field line. I'll see it back on the track up the last field. A 3-run home run for Soto. He continues to rank, and it's 6-0 Yankees.
Michael Kay with the call on the Yes Network. Nelson Cortez pitching against his home team for the first time allowed 2 hits, struck out 6, and walked none over 8 innings. And Ellie De La Cruz hit his first 2 homers of the season, a massive 450-foot shot and a sinking liner that turned into his first career in the park home run, and Cincinnati held off Milwaukee 10-8.
Payoff is crushed. Deep center. Off the top of the fair side.
Wow. First pitch, center field. Freeland was deep coming out. He slides against Pye. De La Cruz can fly. He storms to second. Cheerio gathers into the track. Windmill is on. Relay to the plate. De La Cruz.
Johnson Act with the call on Valley Sports. De La Cruz had 3 hits and scored 4 times. Will Benson also homered for the Reds, and Spencer Steer had 2 RBIs. Shohei Ohtani had 2 doubles and a home run, his 3rd in 5 games to power LA past Minnesota 4-2. And Brian Reynolds hit his 100th career home run. Connor Joe and Jared Triolo both had 2 hits and 2 RBIs, and Pittsburgh beat Detroit 7-4. Ryan McMahon had 3 hits, Charlie Blackmon homered and tripled, and the Colorado Rockies beat Arizona 7-5 Monday night. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a go-ahead 2-run home run with 2 outs in the 8th, 2 innings after the Padres scored 7 runs, and San Diego stunned the Chicago Cubs 9-8. DJ Stewart hit a 2-run homer in the 8th inning, giving New York the lead, and Brandon Nemo drove in 5 runs with 4 hits, including 2 homers, as the Mets held on to beat the Braves 8-7. The Mets, who have won 4 of 5, snapped Atlanta's 3-game win streak on the night. Atlanta celebrated the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's record-breaking 715th home run. On the ice, Connor Garland scored twice, and the Vancouver Canucks beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. And Jake McCabe scored at 1:30 of overtime as the Maple Leafs beat the Pittsburgh Penguins at 3-2. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way on this Tuesday morning. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News.
Wayne Fireball, CPA and certified financial planner professional here, with more tips for fireproofing your money. The most commonly stated reason for investing is retirement. It's so prevalent that the word retirement is even featured prominently in many of our favorite savings vehicles. 401k retirement plan, individual retirement account. It's great that we have the means, some sort of dedicated investment account. But don't forget that like every financial goal, retirement as a destination has 2 components, desired amount and target time frame. In other words, you need both a win and before you have any real retirement plan. Just being sufficiently specific with either element, and you'll never have real peace about having enough money to live the retirement years as you had imagined.
Perfect.
This is Wayne Fireball. Check out fireproofyourmoney.com for tips on setting and reaching your financial goals.
Who are we going to shout out? And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour. It is 6:45 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Placerville. Currently 44 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 69 degrees. All right, hey, let's talk about another event for the calendar. Coming up this Sunday, we've got a book signing happening at Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room. That's at 471 Maidu Drive in Auburn. Beautiful location. Oh my gosh, if you've ever been to Canyon View and taken a look out over the canyon, it is appropriately named. It is a gorgeous spot there. Hey, this is going to be for Rose McHenry's newest book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger. Rose was in studio last week. We got to talk all about that. Gang, it is a fantastic book filled with these great short stories from her time as a state park ranger, and you're going to want to get this, so you can go and check it out. Again, it's going to be a book launch. I've never been to a book launch. Have you? Well, if you haven't, you should go. You're invited to the book launch party. It's free for everybody. There's going to be refreshments, fun activities, prizes. There's going to be an author talk. There's going to be book signing. I got to tell you, I met Rose for the first time again last week. Delightful lady. Oh my gosh, she is so much fun. You're gonna have a ton of fun with her. Set against the backdrop of California's American River Canyon, this engaging and wildly unusual read is about the untamed life of a woman ranger. Again, lots of great stories in there for you. Again, it's the book signing launch party. It's going to be at Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room, 471 Maidu Drive in Auburn. That is going to be Sunday, April 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. Refreshments, fun activities, prizes, author talk, and book signing. It's free for everybody. Bring cash or check if you want to get the book, and you're definitely going to want to get the book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger. She's also going to be selling her other book, Trip Tales, as well. You can find out all this information and more on her website, triptalesbook.com. Again, that's triptalesbook.com. Book signing coming up this Sunday, April 14th, 2 to 4 p.m., Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room, 471 Maidu Drive, Auburn, California. And we'll be back with your California Ag Report right after this.
To announce that I joined the KAHI radio team. Each Wednesday morning from 9 to noon, I'm live on KAHI.
A live
We
read.
tackle issues like
Isn't that
cholesterol,
fun?
diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies impacting your health. The Dr. Dahlia Show is also a live call-in medical talk show that answers your questions on the air. Join me, Dr. Dahlia, Monday through Friday from 9 to noon here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
With California Ag Today, I am
With
This is the Ag
Ag
Information
Today,
Network. USDA is now considering updates to the federal milk marketing order. The deadline for modernization breaks was April 1st.
Okay.
Stephen King, the Congress
Got
of the National
that.
Milk
Thank you,
Producers
Rose.
Federation says there is a huge list of requested changes. One primary issue is returning
Okay,
to
this
the
page
order of Class
didn't
1
load great.
We made changes years
Which
ago.
means I need to get that.
turn to the high rug mover, which worked for many years and decades.
Other requests look at making sure the system and formulas within
Uh-oh,
orders
I'm going to be
are
late.
reflective of
Going back to
current
America's
milk
First
production.
News.
We took a step back, looked at the federal order system, and said, all right, great. These
Oh, well.
need to be updated. So we can't
Meddlers
just
today.
update
Who do we got today at the Meddlers meeting? Guest speaker is Kale Muscat, Auburn Recreation. Oh, Auburn Rec. Cool.
Hearings on the topic
Nice.
include
Right.
processor representatives, which
Love
often have
that.
a different point of view.
Who's
However,
next week?
one of the areas Keene says they could agree on
Chief
were changes
Estes,
needed
Cal Fire
to make
Chief
sure there is enough investment
Placer
in
County.
processing.
The big piece there was
Love it.
to make some justice there to move those up, make sure that
All right.
health process.
I'm going to be late going back. We've got less than a minute
USDA
left.
recommendations will come
I
in
have a
July.
minute 12 left on this.
Finalization at the end of the year. Most decisions won't take effect until Q1
See if I can kind of force it.
Central Coast growers know just how much damage aphids can do to leafy veg, coal, and brassica crops. But versus insecticide from
40
BASF
seconds
makes
here,
all
and
visible
I'm good.
aphids disappear thanks to a unique, single, and targeted mode of action. Let's get the
I've
aphids
got a little
results
bit of
with
intro
this simple
time, though.
solution.
I've got some lead time.
Taking calls now to hear from those unhappy
This is the stressful part of radio.
Anyone?
Oh, no.
Making aphids
I've got
disappear
less
from leafy
time
vegetable, coal, or
on what's
brassica crops
playing,
is easy with
or more
versus
time on what's
insecticide.
playing than I
Always
have
read and follow
to go back to
directions.
the national.
Enhance
Oh,
the
well.
quality and marketable yield of your citrus season with the best
Basically
protection
just
ever
commercials at
developed. Easy to tank mix, full year applied Parka from Cultiva is proven to improve plant and fruit
7,
cuticle health before
6,
sun,
stop, 20
rain,
seconds left here.
insects, and
5,
other natural
4,
stressors costly
3,
lost yields.
2,
In recent
1.
trials, it's also been shown to strengthen fruit cuticles against citrus thrips damage. Make the grade with easy, efficient, season-long protection. Put Parka on it. Ask your retailer or Cultiva
Actually, going
representative
back right
about Parka
now.
today. Visit Cultiva.com for more information.
On the Ag Information Network, I am Haley Ship.
10 minutes to the top of the hour. Back to America's First News. We'll see you back after the top of the hour with the Meddlers meeting. Back after this.
Yellen said she wanted to go into the U.S.-China talks to address a major Biden administration
Dang it.
complaint.
Too late.
that
Oh, well.
Beijing's economic model and trade practices
You win
put
some, you
American
lose
companies and
some.
workers at an
Lost
unfair
that one.
competitive disadvantage by producing highly subsidized solar products, electric
right.
vehicles, and lithium-ion batteries at a loss, dominating the global market.
10 minutes till the
China is
Meddlers
now
meeting, till the
simply
top of the hour.
too large
Going back
for the
to
rest of
edit the
the world
news. Back
to absorb this
after
enormous
this. I'll set my timer for 6 minutes. Okay.
actions taken by the PRC today can shift world prices. And when the global market is flooded by artificially cheap Chinese products, the viability of American and other foreign firms is put into question. I think importantly, it reflects Chinese policies that place great priority on these sectors, channel support to them, enable them to continue operating even when prices drop to very low levels due to overcapacity and their firms don't exit the market. Instead, it's potentially our firms that have to do so.
Yellen also raised national security concerns, warning Chinese leaders, banks, and companies against helping Russia's war on Ukraine.
President Biden and I are determined to do all that we can to stem the flow of material that's supporting Russia's defense industrial base and helping it to wage war against Ukraine. We continue to be concerned about the role that any firms, including those in the PRC, are playing in Russia's military procurement. I stress that companies, including those in the PRC, must not provide material support for Russia's war, and that they will face significant consequences if they do. And I reinforce that any banks that facilitate significant transactions to channel military or dual-use goods to Russia's defense industrial base expose themselves to the risk of U.S. sanctions.
On financial stability, the U.S. and China announced an agreement to hold a series of exercises simulating a failure of a large bank in either of the two countries. In Washington, Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell Monday endorsed a bill that could lead to a ban of TikTok in the U.S. after its momentum has slowed in the Senate following its passage in the House last month. The legislation seeks to force its Beijing-based parent company ByteDance to sell TikTok within 6 months to maintain access to the U.S. web hosting services and app stores.
TikTok officials like to insist that U.S. users' personal information, browsing histories, keystrokes, and other sensitive data are kept out of the reach of the PRC's teams of censors and propagandists. They claim that what it shows young Americans is what they want to see, not what the PRC wants them to think. But the company's own words shatter this fantasy. Quote, everything is seen in China. That's the truth TikTok officials are willing to admit in a leaked recording from behind closed doors. And it shouldn't be all that surprising anyway. Chinese law requires that TikTok's Beijing-based parent company coordinate closely with the PRC.
Critics of the bill have questioned its constitutionality, given the government's targeting of a single company. They've also said it would violate Americans' free speech rights. President Joe Biden, whose re-election campaign uses the platform, has said he'll sign the bill if it reaches his desk. Millions across North America witnessed the moon block out the sun during the total solar eclipse Monday. The path of totality stretched from Mazatlan, Mexico to Newfoundland, an area that crosses 15 states and is home to 44 million people. Revelers were engulfed in darkness at state parks, on city rooftops, and in small towns. Most of those in North America, but not in the direct path, still witnessed the moon transforming the sun into a fiery crescent. Professor of Theoretical Physics Michio Kaku on the draw of the historic event.
You know, I've witnessed many total eclipses of the past, but this one is different. We're talking about the fact that there's so much excitement that politicians are declaring a state of emergency. Take a look at hotel reservations and rent-a-car reservations. They're up several thousand%. And tourists are not just from across the street. Tourists are from Asia, from Europe. They're flooding into the United States to be part of this cosmic event. And so what is driving this? I think several things. First of all, people are writing up their bucket list. And what do they want to do before they kick the bucket? Well, the next total eclipse of the sun won't be till the year 2044. So some people are saying now or never. So, hey, let's get a rent-a-car, let's get a hotel, and let's watch this eclipse. And second of all, I think we have to realize that there's a fascination with outer space coming again. For so many years, people were talking about space shuttle launches, nothing new was happening. Now, people get excited because ordinary citizens, private citizens are going into outer space.
Meeting.
Elon Musk
Join
is
Zoom.
selling tickets to go to the moon. Think about this.
Tickets
So
to
there's
go
been
to
a
the moon.
resurgence of interest in the universe, a resurgence of interest in space travel, and I think that is one of the reasons why this eclipse is different from previous eclipses.
Kaku making the remarks to ABC News. The next big one for the U.S. is in 2045. That one will stretch from
It was
Northern
2044,
California
Matt.
all the way to
2020,
Cape Canaveral,
2044.
Country music singer Morgan Wallen's been arrested after police say he threw a chair off the rooftop of a newly opened 6-story bar in downtown Nashville. Wallen was booked into jail early Monday on 3 felony counts of reckless endangerment and 1 misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct. The charges stem from a chair being thrown from the rooftop.
Okay. Everybody's joining a Zoom meeting. I hear Jackie.
Click on today.
All right. What do we have for commercials here? Big Mountain Heating and Air. America's First News. Okay, so that's 005. We're potentially going to have to move. Oh, here's Cindy. Down, Naturewood. It's at 14. Let's see if they get started in time. Big Mountain. Sunrise Natural Foods. That's at 7:30. We can move that up to 0. We can move that up to earlier in the day. Oh, but there's a bunch right there. When's that at? That's at 7:30? What?
All right, is that right?
When's sunrise?
It's bigger.
Sunrise is at 7:17? Oh, no. No. We're going to take that out. It's 7:17, and we're going to put that in. So we're going to go to com. We're going to put sunrise in at 0030. Foods. Okay, perfect. That's going to go in right there. And we're going to get rid of that PSA rotation. Perfect. And then do we have any others? Okay, cool. That's it. Okay, cool. Where's that? There we go. ARD, they're sharing the screen. That's good. 0045. Just need to watch that one. And that is a minute. So this is always the fun part, to see Zoom. Always when you throw in technology, it's always a wild card. Like, oh, is Zoom going to work? Is it working? Do you get let into the meeting in time? Is the screen share working? It's like being at my job, other job, joining Zoom calls all the time. Ah, you're on mute. How is Zoom? How's a Zoom call like a seance? Barbara, are you there? Can you hear us? Barbara, are you there? Can you hear us? Barbara, are you there? Can you hear us? And we go down.
Who didn't take out loans? Great Clutch study.
Okay. We'll see when the meeting starts. 7:01. What was that, Jim? Nope. They're looking for the microphone. You guys can do it. I have faith in you. Oh, they don't have the microphone up. Oh no! Somebody find the microphone. Oh, that microphone is gold, you guys. You gotta find it. Oh yeah, so that commercial is definitely going to be able to play. I don't think they're going to make it in time. So Tuesdays during this hour, I feel like I can sit back just a little bit and watch, but then it's always nerve-wracking to see, oh, are the commercials playing on time? Oh, when do I need to cut in? Like, there's just one commercial here. So, like, should I cut in? And actually, I don't think I should. Well, we'll see. We'll see if the Big Mountain Heating and Air one plays. So if that does play, then I'll move the Naturewood one, which is like a 30-second commercial. Like, am I going to interrupt this just to play one 30-second commercial? No. So I just got to figure out where I'm going to move it. But it all depends on if this next commercial plays in the next minute and a half. And I'm guessing they're not going to have this tech issue figured out in the next minute and a half. So I'm going to be good to move Naturewood Home Furnishings.
Test pipelines in the Baltic Sea.
We shall see. Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla, and by extension its CEO
All right.
Elon Musk, liable for repeatedly exaggerating the capabilities of Tesla's self-driving car technology.
Ugh.
Evidence indicated that Wong was playing a video game when he crashed into a highway barrier.
Bro was playing a video game behind the wheel of his car.
$600 million in a class action
Oh, it
lawsuit
killed him.
settlement. It's related to the fiery train development in February of 2023
Holy
in East
cow.
Palestine, Ohio. More on these stories.
Okay, this commercial is definitely going to play.
In the heating and air conditioning business, the
Okay, so that means I'm going to move Naturewood around 0005C.
Almost nothing when it comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
5C is the one we're going to
your home that looks like a true tech.
And there's no sound coming from that one. Oh no! Jackie, get it to work.
A 3-hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long.
All right, that one definitely played. 1, 2, 3, 5C. Okay, where am I going to pop that one in? Sunrise, we already played.
Does that work? No.
Is that the only? We're gonna have a big commercial block right there. Okay. I guess we're gonna do a massive. What do I want to do? Want to just bunch everything up at the bottom of the hour? Seems lame.
There is, but there's like a light. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, Kathy says it's working. Oh, there's the light. Oh, all right.
They got it.
Um,
Good job, guys. Okay, cool. So we didn't play 005C.
okay. We're super late. Sit down, Casey. Right. I know, scary. Ray. Ray, you get to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance since you wouldn't stop talking. What's over here? I'm so good at it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
That's a weird time to do that.
Oh boy, technology. You would think that my age I'd figure it out by now. Welcome everyone. You get me today. So exciting. Daniel's on a trip and Steve decided to go to the coast.
you're stuck with me for today, but you get Daniel next week if he ever gets back. I thought they cut back on his flying because of the budget cuts. No. I know this early thing I don't like doing. I can't remember. Who do we start with? It's going to be a while. Sean, come on up.
Morning, everybody. Netanyahu for the first time recently. That you
8 minutes past the top of the hour here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're going to cut into America's First News during the 7 o'clock hour. We tune into the Auburn Chambers Meddlers meeting. A little bit later start today. We're going to go ahead and get updates now from Sean Raid, City Manager.
Job, right, is to see like our staff doing really good stuff and being celebrated for that stuff. So yesterday I was able to watch one of those really important things where 2 of our staff members graduated from Sacramento Valley Leadership Academy. So
that's cool.
This is, I think, the 5th year the program's been in existence. We've sent a couple people each year, or at least one each year. So our airport manager, Kai Richardson, and then our public works equipment operator supervisor, both.
All right, I'm going to do Sunrise. Okay.
Tim Percival. They both graduated yesterday from that leadership development program. So it's just kind of a cool thing to be able to see them, you know, like continue on their career. Kai's been with us for kind of a short amount of time, maybe I think 2 years-ish, around 2 years. Tim's been here for a while longer though. But being able to see them just continue to move on and move up in their careers, really, really rewarding to see them. So obviously we're approaching summer season. Grass isn't dried out yet. And so our fire chief, John Rogers, is reminding folks that it's a perfect time to create defensible space around your property because of the important role that plays in protecting homes and communities from fires. You clear the vegetation and debris from around your structures to reduce the risk of fire spreading. And then also our burning permits are only open through May 31st, or when CAL FIRE implements its burn ban, whichever occurs first. So you can get those online. There's a QR code that we have kind of spread around the building. A couple different
so I'm just going to do that there.
Issued
We're going to
in person
remove
anymore.
Sunrise.
If you need a burn permit, try to do it online. Obviously,
here, because we're going to play it.
Remove there. Let's see. So you can burn on days that the County Air Pollution Control District allows us to burn.
Cool.
And then as an alternative to burning, we have the County Chipper program, which is offered by the Placer Resource Conservation District for all county residents. That program provides residents with access to a crew and a chipper for only $80 an hour to eliminate the piled up vegetation. Pretty good deal.
Oh, chipper program. I should have them on.
Size bigger. Crazy. I have them. I just forgot. Annual free anonymous medication drop-off events coming up on April 27th at DBK from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Really important to have those events to keep prescription drugs away from our kids, and then also to prevent them from getting into our water supply. So you can bring both prescription and over-the-counter drugs, vet medications, and vaping devices. I know you all vape daily. You do have to take the battery out of the vaping device, though.
County.
You can't take any illicit drugs, no sharps, and no medical waste, though.
I gotta find Andrew's phone number.
No mushrooms, no weed, Jackie. Yeah, we have 3 council. Sorry, we have 3 council members heading to DC this year for the Cap to Cap trip. That's a trip that Sacramento Chamber puts on each year. So we have Mayor Riddell Harris is on the Economic Development team. Councilmember Dowd and Calvillo's attending on behalf of Pioneer Energy and is on the Wildfire Committee. And our esteemed Councilmember Holmes here in the front is also attending.
About us.
Multi-day trip brings elected officials and staff all over from Sacramento area to DC to advocate on behalf of our
Where's
city.
Andrew? There he is. Andrew Justice Rights.
I think that's a great trip for folks to go on the elected side because they're able to actually talk to each other outside of kind day-to-day stuff.
I'm gonna send myself a note
then I kind of
to book
camaraderie.
Andrew about the chipper
And
program.
lastly, PD just released March crime statistics. Total incidents for March, we had 667 calls for service and just under 1,200 officer-initiated activity. 36
Andrew.
arrests for misdemeanor, 9 felonies, 102 crime reports, and 4 traffic collisions. So busy month for PD.
About the chipper program.
It's tough coming to these things when you don't have a council meeting. You know, like I'm trying to.
Our police department in Auburn cooperated or worked with the group that went into department and brought up all of that. The find the retail of that.
I know that we've had the DA come to they went to the chamber once, right? Talked about that program. I don't know if our PD has actually gone into businesses that work. Like I don't know if they've done that specifically or not, but they are participating in the program and helping to support it, helping to support the DA on that. I don't know if they actually went into and participated in any kind of an arrest though. I'm not sure. She is. Yeah, it's it. Yeah. Yeah. I need glasses. You need hearing aids. Walk right into that one. She's going on behalf of Pioneer Energy.
All right, there we
She's on the wildfire team.
Pioneer Community Energy. Oh my goodness. That was quick.
I know.
Oh, and I've got commercials coming up.
Kale's trying to trick us here. That's an unsafe Mr. Parks director. Good morning, everyone. Great to see everybody this spring morning. It's great to have some continued spring weather. How many watched the eclipse yesterday? I did too. I got the little glasses and went out with my grandson to check it out. Pretty fun. Few things I wanted to report on. First off, the BLM is funding a free tire recovery program to try to keep tires out of our forests and woods where people dump them when they don't know what to do with them. May 18th and 19th will be at the Auburn Transfer Station. I don't have the times, but you can dump 9 tires. They ask you to take the rims out if you can. And please spread the word because people that are dumping them out in the woods, BLM is tired of trying to go out, find them, and get them back up. So they're funding this program 100%. And our Department of Public Works is helping. We had our budget workshops last week, and we had been reporting to all of you. I think I've reported a couple times about the decline.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills. If you're just joining us, we're listening to the Auburn Meddlers meeting as we do on Tuesdays. We're going to pause now to show some love to our advertisers. We'll be right back right after this.
The savings are amazing.
Right back,
Nature
right
and
after
Home
this.
Furnishing sofa
I use
set.
right back and right now too much.
Save on every sofa, including gallery exclusive.
But I hit the
custom
commercials.
steel furniture,
Commercials made it.
sectionals, recliners.
That's
all
the
come
important
with
part.
Steel
Gotta pay the
superior
bills.
Blue steel, highest quality spring
So
construction.
one more Sunrise Natural
Nature.
Foods.
Their IPT storage backup screening. We're catching a lot more people, bad guys and gals, but it takes a lot of data analysis for the sheriff's department. Another big factor that we're seeing is the number of Public Records Act requests. Both the sheriff, the DA, and our CEDRA department reported they're off the charts.
10 seconds,
with
Adam. 10
people.
seconds.
There's these clearinghouses that demand
15% off every Wednesday. Visit us in Auburn and Roseville or online at sunrisenaturalfoods.com.
17 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:17 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the Voice of the Foothills. Gang, it is Tuesday. It is the 7 a.m. hour. We join in on the Meddlers meeting, the Auburn Chamber of Commerce meeting. We are hearing updates from Placer County Supervisor, District 5, Cindy Gustafson. Let's go back to the meeting now.
public to go after versus being aggrieved citizens trying to get, a fair understanding of what's happened. So that's requiring in many of the requests we have. And then, of course, the sheriff has body worn cameras now. So with that, there's a lot of, there can be 3 or 4 cameras on a scene of an arrest of somebody. And so somebody's searching through all that data and giving it all to
Tire Amnesty Week.
The various attorneys involved
This is
in the
old.
arrest. So we heard a lot of
County,
concurring requests for
2014.
additional staffing to monitor all this IT. And I know the board will be considering that as we move forward. The budget, the public hearing will be June 11th. And then June 25th would be the budget adoption. So there's a few months here to continue to work on that as we monitor the state's budget process. Also last week on Wednesday, the second day of the board workshop, we did the pinwheels over at the courthouse for Child Abuse Prevention Month. And that was a great event.
That's Montrose
and
County.
Then Mayor
Amnesty,
Rachel
that's
Liddell
October.
Harris and past Mayor Alice Dowden-Cavillo and I met with Don Ailes from the fairgrounds to talk about moving forward in cooperation and joint efforts at the fairgrounds. He made a compelling case, obviously, for the financial situation the fairgrounds finds itself in. And Don is an excellent, I think, businessman. I think the issue that we all urged, and I think there's going to be follow-up between the city and the fairgrounds,
May 18th and 19th.
is how we
Is that on the
communicate
calendar?
with the user groups and how we urge him and the fair board to be more in contact and bring the various user groups into the discussion and
19th.
into workshops so they can understand what needs to happen with the rates. He seemed willing to do that. That's why he said he started going back out to groups to speak to them again and came to meddlers and is doing the rounds with that. And I'm going to take him at his word that he's willing to work on that and work with the community to try to resolve some of the disputes that are going on. So he did commit to a 3x3 with the city moving forward with a couple of his fair board members as well as city council members and Sean to keep working on that. And then let's see, the mobile temporary shelter, 49 of the 51 program tents are occupied. All of the law enforcement liaison overflow tents are available, and the congregate shelters at 95 of the 96 program beds are full. Last weekend, our Placer County Search and Rescue Team and our Sheriff's Office, combined with the Mountain Rescue Team, joined 19 other mountain rescue teams to do their annual recertification test up at Convict Lake near Mammoth. This year's event focused on technical rock, snow, and ice and search management, and our team passed with flying colors. So another part of the great services that we have with our canyons and mountains, where people unfortunately get disoriented, get out there, and we try to reunite them, find them and reunite them with their family members. Michael Romero of our public health office was recognized by Kids First Thursday with the Children's Champion Award for Children's Health and Well-Being, and focused on many of our new children focused services. They recognized what he has done with WIC, Women, Infants, and Children, the Medical Therapy Unit in Newcastle, and the Medi-Cal programs and family services for health insurance. So Michael, well-deserved. Those of you who've met with Michael know how hard he works to support our families and our children. A little bit on the state budget. I mentioned watching what the state budget will do to the county. You may have heard the governor and the legislature have figured out about $17.3 billion of their $30 to $70 billion deficit, with drawing down rainy day reserves of $12.2 billion, doing actual cuts of about $17 billion, and then about $1 billion they're counting on will come from a school bond that we haven't seen yet, but they're expecting to get on the November ballot. And then there's some freeze and additional one-time funding that they're looking at. So all combined, They've addressed about 17.3 billion of
Wait,
that.
is there more than that?
I think last week when I was speaking, someone said they were reporting a little bit of an increase, a few $100 million,
There we go.
not a billion. So a lot of money to make up. The county programs that we think will be hit, our behavioral health bridge housing will be delayed by 235 million will be delayed. Our broadband loan reserve will be delayed. And in the coming weeks, the budget subcommittees will identify other cuts that may impact counties. So we'll keep you abreast of that, and if we need support.
Okay, so this is kind of the cool thing and the boring thing about local radio. I think it's a cool thing in that we get to broadcast local
in that. This morning at
kind
the
of
Board of Supervisors,
government
we've
meetings,
got,
which is good because
we'll be
I know I
making
learn a ton
proclamation for Donate
here,
Live
but also it can seem kind of boring and droning on. So we cut in and out with commercials. But other than that,
strongly, and I know
it's just
many
kind of
you
sitting
do.
back and listening
We'll
and
also be
monitoring
getting a report
what's
from our
going on.
Economic Development Director, Gloria Stearns,
But since
and
listening
one
to these
by
local,
USEC,
so this is a meeting hosted
highlighting
by the
their
local
meeting
Chamber of
visit,
Commerce,
that
which
they
is
did
cool.
with Bosch.
We get updates
And,
from the city of
Supervisor
Auburn,
Board did
and we get
attendance,
updates
that
about the
week,
Placer or about Placer
event
County
in
at
Germany,
large.
along with
And
12 residents of
so
our economic
it's
development
good. Some
staff,
of
so
it is kind of
interested to hear
seems
the
like
outcomes.
snooze fest a little bit, but
And
then
of course, with the A's now coming to Sacramento,
A's
I
coming to
think some of
Sacramento. I
our
want to hear
Placer
this.
County business are going to be interested in hotel revenues in the west end of the
But then that gives me ideas of like, oh, there's a chipper program
and then
going
we'll
on,
be
so I
approving,
should reach out
expenditure
to
plan for the Placer County
the people of that
transportation
department and have
sales
somebody on
tax.
and talk about
Now, we
like
don't
maybe you have a lot of
approve
stuff
as the
that
Board of
you want to do
Supervisors
burn
the
pile
measure
or
that
burn
will go to the
day,
ballot.
kind of
That
sketchy,
will be
not
done by
sketchy, but
Placer County
maybe you don't want to do it.
Planning Agency
People
and
need to know that there's like a
Supervisor
chipper program that'll
serves
come out
on
and
that
chip your
board.
branches and stuff like
But the
that. So
Board
there's a
of
lot of stuff going
Supervisors,
on.
as well as the cities
And I'm always thinking like, who can I have on? But I don't.
If the voters
Then it comes out overwhelming, like, well, I
So
don't
we'll
know
be
who
hearing
this,
that
who this.
this
So this is
morning.
actually a
We'll
great
also be
hearing what's
getting
going on
an update
locally to get
on
ideas for
establishment
guests to come on the show and
sunset
say
area
like, hey,
infrastructure
let's talk about the chipper
financing
program.
district.
Let's talk about this
And,
tire recovery
updates
program. Like people are dumping tires out in the forest.
the
So
workforce housing preservation
I don't
program for Eastern
honestly
County.
know that people who
Reorganization of the
are
Placer County
dumping
Probation
tires in the
Peace
forest
Officers Association,
are
separate
listening to
them
the radio.
from
Maybe
one of
they
our
are,
bargaining
but
units. And then
maybe somebody who listens to this knows
yeah,
somebody
the
who's like, oh, I see that you have tires that you need to get rid of.
improvements that we
Maybe
participated in
you
with
should think
the
about doing this. It's free
tomorrow
instead
night
of
we have a joint
just
chamber mixer.
chucking them
Auburn,
out in the woods,
Rockland,
which is
Roseville, and
a
Lincoln,
bummer.
5:30 to
People do that.
7:30 at the grounds. I won't make it because I have a LAFCO meeting that goes probably till 5:30 or 6 tomorrow. So I apologize. I won't make it back to. Yeah, Sophie's going. And then Saturday, Christian Valley is doing a wildfire preparedness day, 10 to 2. at the
Everybody's prepping for
CCC,
wildfire season.
Placer
That's right.
Center
It's
on
coming.
Christian Valley Road, Cal
We
Fire.
got to get ready for that.
The CCCs and
4 minutes,
Placer
Adam.
Fire will
It's all
be there
commercials.
in attendance.
It's
Um,
McCullough's and
again,
Strictly
the
Toy
rezone,
Hondas.
I heard we might have a bit of a protest
Yep.
this morning on the rezone at our Board of Supervisors
Ooh,
meeting.
protest.
Some folks that are unhappy. But that's not on our decision-making calendar for today. That again will be May 21st, but it is on planning.
Ooh, does that mean I
Commission
have
at the
Jen
end
in
of the month
tomorrow?
on the 25th. And then a
Usually
reminder
after their
on
meetings,
that
I've got one of the
insurance
Placer County
workshop
supervisors that come
Commissioner
in
Laura
and
is
gives me
doing,
updates on that. I
April
should ask him
23rd
about the
at 2
protest if
p.m.
that happened
So
or happens
happy to
today.
answer any questions. Yes.
Oh man, they're zipping right through it today.
We also asked,
tomorrow
we asked
is
about charging.
Jim.
We also asked
Jim will
about
be on
what
tomorrow.
are there
Okay,
any
I'll talk to him about
bills
it
that
tomorrow.
could be brought forward because every municipality
Okay,
is
good to
dealing
know.
with these sorts of PRAs.
So there's a thing,
Are there
a
things that
rezone
can
thing
be
that's going
done
on here. Everybody's up in arms
legislatively
about
to,
because basically the state says you have to
get rid of
have
the
low
clearinghouse
cost
approach?
housing
Yeah.
or affordable
Or charge
housing,
them.
and you have to pick an area to do that to make affordable housing. But then the cost of
Yeah.
building it doesn't
Right.
match the cost of what you're actually going to sell it or rent it for. And then you have all these property owners that are like, well, don't put
Yeah.
low income housing or affordable housing near my property because that'll drive my property value
Especially
down.
when it's a corporation.
state's like,
I mean, when an individual who,
You got to do it. We got to have more affordable housing.
Right.
So pick a
When
spot.
there's
And if you don't pick it,
individuals
we're going
that
to come
are
in and
trying
pick it.
to
So that's the big,
free their
everybody's kind of up
relative
in
or
arms
get
about it.
information, I think.
Which
you
is
know,
an interesting
something
thing
might
because
happen
everybody's like, yeah, we should
to
do
their
something
family
about
member,
making
and
housing more
they
affordable,
have
but
their
don't put it
members
near my
and they want
house.
the films. You can understand where they may not have the funds to afford
Yeah, we
that,
need homeless
right?
shelters,
But
but
when
don't put
these
it near my house.
clearinghouses are doing it,
I get it.
or can you get
And
paid
it's
back
a
out of
rough,
the settlement
it's a rough thing.
if they do find that there was wrong?
I think about it like, yeah, put a homeless shelter near my house.
They're still good. That's why we took action last week.
Okay, we've got a
2 weeks
minute
ago,
30, Adam,
to
until
keep that
commercials.
program moving forward. You need to make notes if I won't remember what term.
Okay, and I need to figure out, I need to go back and see who's
We don't have
actually
that.
speaking
We have the
today.
initial phase 1 funding
So
because
I
we
can
went
announce
ahead
that. Who is it
and
again?
hired the consultants to
Cal-
go to final design.
Cal
but we've
Muscat?
been assured if we're making
Auburn
progress,
Rec
those funds
District.
aren't being taken back. We
That's
did
cool.
lose the second round or the third round of the library funding. We had an application in for Kings Beach Library, and that one was rejected. So they're but the state pulled those funds back. Oh, you had a question.
Oh, I want to hear this answer, but we got to go to commercial. Shoot.
Can I plead the fifth?
29 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:29 a.m. here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. We are listening into the Auburn Meddlers meeting as we do on Tuesdays during the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to pause for commercials. Back right after this.
Is McCullough and the Auburn Town Center. McCullough's very small.
But she assured me that there was no intentional change of the board members. It's just the administration.
God, every time he knocks on that window,
members as terms
scares the
come up.
bejeebers out of me.
The governor
Friendly
has
guy.
those
My
appointments.
goodness gracious.
Alice, Del Rio used to be the appointment secretary for Governor Schwarzenegger. I served on the state commission. Typically, the executive directors are talked to see how board members are doing. He's saying that
Yeah,
didn't
this
happen.
should be the last set
I
of commercials
can't
for this
say
hour, so I
what
can just
happened or
let it
didn't
roll
happen, but,
for the rest of the
I think
hour.
that's been a concern, and we raised
And
that.
not have to
with
worry
the
about cutting in. I'll cut in back and forth. It's called formatics. To like, hey, you're listening to, this is our speaker here. If you're just joining us, because people tune in and out throughout the hour. So here we go.
7:08:08.
31 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:31 a.m. If you're just joining us on Tuesdays, we join in to the Auburn Meddlers meeting. We're going to go back to that, where Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson has given some updates and is taking questions from the audience.
It was about the setup. He was changing dramatically the setup costs ahead of time and the cleanup effort. Yeah. Chairs, yep.
So his actual cost is only on a 3%, but he's adding on things that he's never in 30 years heard.
Right.
He's not getting money to pay. Yes, he is. That's the thing. Yes, he is.
Well, he's getting, anyway, so this is exactly why I continue to say the community's got to come together and work together to solve this. Because it is a state agency. He responds to the state, and he does have a lot of deferred maintenance out there to deal with. So I just hope he can be more transparent and they can be more transparent. We can have more conversations to look at the numbers and figure out ways to solve the problem.
Touchy
Because
subject.
I think this community shows
The
over and
fairgrounds.
over again their dedication and commitment to the fairgrounds.
Gotta keep
and
the
are
fairgrounds
willing
up to date.
to help solve that problem. It's how you do it and when and how you phase it. I did a lot of rate increases that went popular in my former district. You try to do your best to phase in and bring people in to buying into, yes, I want to see this infrastructure fixed. Here's how we're going to fund it over time. And so I think, Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sandy? Well, they before you got here, I mentioned that he did commit to doing 3x3s with the city. And then we went on to talk about building bridges with other organizations in the community that have been negatively impacted. And
Sorry, because they used to meet in another room that they moved to a new room, and there used to be mics around the tables where you could hear questions from the audience, but now they've gone to another room where there's just a mic at the podium, which is really good audio for the person at the podium, but you can't hear the questions that are coming like you could before. So, I mean, it's a Zoom meeting, so you do what you can, and
we have surpluses.
you know, folks are grateful that we carry it, but it's like, what do you do? Do I try and turn up the volume?
Of course, I think there's always ways
to let to try and get the audience questions, and then when the person responds, then it's just like blasting your ears out because they're right next to the microphone.
And is it better
for the one microphone in the room? So
is
again,
it better to be locally?
This meeting wasn't meant to originally be Zoom. It was back in the day, like the person in my position would actually go down to the to City Hall there and join in and take notes and then report on it the next day. I am more than happy now to sit here and just broadcast it and let Zoom, like, let technology take the lead on
I'm
this.
happy to
So,
answer more questions. Ray, you had one quick.
and yeah.
I'll get that number for you. Yeah. Right. The state and federal funds that flow through, especially to HHS.
Health and Human Services, HHS.
Potentially. Or if they're delaying the funds, what we would have to do.
It's funny, it can kind of mark time throughout the morning because there's people that have a usual like running route or walk by. And so it's usually, I see somebody run by that just normally runs by every time during the day at this time. I'm like, oh, yep, there's that person that must be about now, about the time. It's interesting to have, to see people's regular rhythms of their day and just to be here and observe it and then see how that becomes part of the rhythm of my day. Like, oh, I didn't see like window knocking guy that always knocks on the window. Like sometimes he comes down now, sometimes he's comes by right after I'm done. So it's not like a regular routine, but it is at some point window knocking guy is coming, but yet I forget about him. Kale.
That's not true.
Kale. Muscat.
Well, I don't know about the 4th of July.
I will give you the field and I will turn this over.
All right. So as Jackie said, I'm Cale Muscat.
Jackie, turn it back on Cale.
I didn't start as a pool boy. I was at the pool a lot as the recreation manager, but I wasn't a pool boy. But we can go with that story. That's fine. All right. So if you've seen this presentation before, I just do my quick little spiel about who we are. We were formed in 1948. We celebrated our 75th anniversary last year. Pretty cool. We're about 100 square miles. We serve about 45,000 residents. I'll show you that in a second. We are independent of Placer County, the city of Auburn, and the Auburn State Recreation Area. People confuse us all the time with them, every day. We're not them, but we work with them. We have 5 elected board of directors, and you see them on your ballot every other year. And about 70% of our non-project revenue comes from
37 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 7:37 a.m. here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. If you're just joining us, we are listening into the Auburn Meddlers meeting, as we do on Tuesdays during the 7 o'clock hour. We're hearing from today's special guest speaker, Cale Muscat. He is from the Auburn Recreation District, just giving us an update on ARD.
So this is actually from 22, 23, just because we're wrapping up this last year's budget. That's why I just left this on here. But you can kind of see how we break out where our expenses are. Being that we're in a service industry, of course, our biggest expenses are going to be, wages and benefits. You can see that's half of whatever everything is cost. So, top revenue producing programs from 22, 23. Once again, just because we're wrapping up, you can see obviously a lot of
This guy's going to go the distance. We shall see.
You don't
All right, Kale, you take it here for a while. I'm going to go check on a couple things.
Together, but obviously we serve a lot of and our camps are really big too. So. I can't remember why I put this slide in there, but I did. So is that why? Okay, because it's the chamber. Anyways, that's our Auburn Pickleball Club. It started up just this last year, and they worked through our 501. But as anybody knows, if you've paid attention to any sort of thing lately, you know that pickleball is the end all be all of everything, and it's taking over the world. And we're happy to be part of it. And they have tournaments every week. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Just talking about our projects. This is just kind of in general. I haven't updated this since the last time we met, but they're still about the same. So we've got about $8 million in total projects between new and infrastructure. You see Marriott Meadows, which we'll talk about in a second, is our biggest one coming up. And the energy efficiency projects we just got done, which is all the solar and plumbing upgrades. But the point being that about 87% of our projects over that 6-7 year period are infrastructure related. We are an old park district. I like showing the picture. You can't see because it's blocked out over there, but that's a very rusted out old pipe. Those are lots of those all over our park district that we find whenever we have a problem. And this is constant repair in our district. So that's why we have to spend so much on infrastructure, which is no different than anybody else. So that's what we spend our money on. Staffing for 23-24. Our summer high last year was 95 employees. Currently, we have 26 full-time. And our current staff right now is 69, so we're in a hiring process as we speak. We're hiring in lifeguards. Pretty soon we'll start hiring in camp staff. Then we'll be back up around 95 to 100 staff come June. And then, so here's just some pictures of some of the staff in action. These first two pictures are from last year. And then everything after that is, all these other pictures are, like these are just pictures from the last 4 to 6 weeks of our staff in action. Working, doing various things. Of course, we had lots of trees come down. We always do. One of the best investments we bought 3 years ago is our own chipper, and that thing runs hot this time of year. We are chipping a lot. Yes, lifeguard training, getting ball fields ready, and I share that because I'm going back to that slide. Remember that we talked about 70% of our non-project revenue comes from property taxes. So property taxes, those are things obviously we don't control. So 70% of our revenue is something we have zero control over. Right? Meaning, when things happen like $20 an hour for flipping burgers at McDonald's happen, and our park workers, our basic park workers start at $20 an hour, and our lifeguards start at a little over 17 an hour. Competition gets tough, and we don't have widgets that we can increase the price on. I can't increase the price on things to make up the difference. Yes, I can increase some of the fees to do a karate class or take a swim lesson, but only so much, and that's only 30% of our revenue. So our issue, I'm sure it's issues for lots of the government agencies, is when everything rises up for the cost of doing things, mainly for staffing, it's difficult for us to find the revenue to offset that. So it's one of our challenges that we are facing. And
Oh,
some
geez.
recent upcoming projects. I threw this in.
Nerve-wracking to come into
One of the
silence.
projects we have coming up is to redo that little section of Park Drive, the regional park. But this is just a cool picture because this shows 2 board members, a staff member, an intern, and then some public that got together, mainly some tennis players, and we went out there and just did some road patching on our own last year because it's so expensive to do the work. We're like, it's trying to get the money saved up for it. But in the meantime, we went out there and took care of some of it ourselves. So, not saying it was expert craftsmanship, but it got the job done.
I do kind of like Tuesdays because I can just sit here and eat my breakfast.
So
Not
this
really.
project
Gotta
is
kick back and
actually
watch.
one that's just
Like,
right.
okay.
Myself right there. You can see in the picture with the yellow oval where it's
Oh, the new pickleball courts that are going in
That's the multi-use / pickleball courts at City Hall School Park Reserve.
behind City Hall.
That project was supposed to start any day. It was supposed to start possibly today, but we got some possible delays. So we're working through. So we were getting going
Pickleball,
soon.
sweeping the
We need
nation.
to get going soon. That wasn't our work. That was somebody else's work that's causing some of the delays. So we're gonna do that. It is. It's Dalgoni Construction got the contract. I think we had 6 or 7 bidders on that job. So yeah, a lot of people were interested in it. Other recent projects. So remember last Mother's Day, May of 23, we had a fire over at the Recreation Park maintenance building, which is, you can see there where it sits at Recreation Park. And we are in the process of wrapping up, hopefully soon, that redo of the building and the ADA ramp. That is a $1 million plus improvement we had to make to the building. Insurance is covering almost all of it, but it was amazing how quickly costs went up. It's amazing. $1 million, and we didn't tear the building down. We had to add in that ADA ramp, you can see over on the right side of that picture, and then we had to redo the interior to make it. It was essentially shop space, but because of new codes, we had to bring it up into office space. But yeah, $1 million like that, amazing. This year we're going to be replacing the front playground at Recreation Park. That's the one that sits right up against racetrack. You kind of see it in that over.
Updating the playground?
Oops, wrong way.
Gosh.
Okay, Marriott Meadows. This is what we used to call the 24 acres. This is our big project coming up. We're getting very close to having the funding we need to get the project started.
Is that by regional?
We're going to be going back.
By regional park?
A little bit more money coming up. What happened was there's a couple things that happened what slowed the project down. First, we were trying to
this guy's going to fill up.
We have a piece of property we
full
call
time.
Mount Vernon property. It's off of Nevada Street, kitty corner from what used to be Isley's. That sale fell through, so that was a $400,000 hole that got blown in our budget. And then, of course, inflation hit us, which also blew a.
I thought the kitty corner from Isley's was
some extra funding to get that project, get the Marriott Meadows project. So that is
apartment complex.
There it is.
No?
That's Regional Park, and it's the 24 acre parcels, the one there in the yellow.
Yeah, regional.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of behind like the what's the adult school now? Use the old adult school course trains, the old.
It's by Parkside.
And some of the amenities are going to go in there. The really cool thing about that property is that the walking trails up there, there's already walking trails up there now. If you're in that area, you want to go for a nice little walk. Not a long walk, just maybe, I don't know, it's about a mile worth of trails, but they're really neat. They're really through some oak woodlands and kind of go out and just even those little parking.
Oh, they're going to put in bocce ball courts.
The trails up there are going to be
Nice.
really nice when they're done. And they're already there. We're just going to improve them a little bit. And we use them for the obstacle course race. Which we're going to get into. We're going to talk about event style fun stuff.
Oh, skate night.
The skate night we had.
I promoted that for a long
A couple
time.
weeks ago or so. This is out of Regional Park.
Oh, they had a lot of people turn out.
We had about
Wow.
250 people show up for this.
That's awesome.
Which was great. Way more than we thought. And a lot of people had fun. Lots of people calling for, we need a roller skating rink back in the area. And we said, well,
That'd be awesome.
get one. We'll maybe do this one again. We're talking about doing another one at Christmas. But lots of interest.
Nice. That's
Cool
cool.
stuff coming up. We have 2 Kids Palooza.
Promote the heck out of that.
We do. It's a Kids Palooza group, but it's Jamie Ross is the big purveyor of this event. So we're doing one at Regional this year and one at Recreation Park. And it's fun and it's free. Lots of activities for the kids to do. Party in the Park is back, and you might want to take a look at that picture, Jackie.
Oh, Manouche!
This is a picture from last time we did Party in the Park. That chair was reserved for Jackie at the event right there. We brought that in just for her to make sure she had a good seat for the event. We didn't do it last year because we did our 75th anniversary celebration. That's a nice big free party out at the park, Party in the Park.
We're
And
doing some
we
Party in
have
the Park.
One Drop Redemption, which is a really good reggae band coming. They've played with us before, and they're lots of fun. I encourage you to attend. This is a new event, Parks and Big Trucks this year, and
dude,
basically it's a lot
good
of
stuff.
A lot of other agencies call it Touch a Truck. We just came up with a different name. But we're getting various big, large vehicles from all
How much time do I
over.
have?
Well, this is certainly
4
oriented
minutes?
towards kids to be able to come and get inside and experience large trucks and large vehicles and helicopters.
Cool.
Anybody can come. So Earl, if you want to come get in a big truck, get in a big truck, okay? Your invitation. Speaking of trucks, we have our food truck fiesta coming back this year. That's a fun event at Recreation Park, and it's always a fundraiser for the Auburn Bike Park. The Dead Fest, which last year was our biggest crowd ever. I don't know how many people we had out there, but yeah, it was a lot. It was like 5,000 people.
Holy cow.
It was a great event. It's a long event all day, and it beats the out of you. But we had a good time with this. So that's September 14th.
No, I gotta keep note of all these.
The obstacle course race, as Jack referenced earlier, is coming back, of course. This event keeps getting larger, and we're always trying to do different things with it. We're starting to run out of creative ideas that we can do.
Okay, this is good.
So anybody can think of something that doesn't involve
Because this is
fire
like, hey,
or
I need to
electricity.
get on and have these people on.
Well, you should have a
Let's
fire.
talk about these things. Yeah, I should promo them. But I should also have people on.
We're not going to
Talk about this.
So anything else, we'll listen. And
Must
those
be
ideas of the
insane.
fire electricity, you should come back to that repeatedly. The Auburn Harvest Festival is back. It's still my favorite event of the year. Over at Recreation Parks, the Giant Pumpkin Festival. You probably know it several times. Santa's Toy Chest is also coming back. And that event just keeps getting bigger and better. And we have lots of fun with it, even though it's usually pretty cold while we're doing it. Great fun event. And I think that's it. That was a picture from Jump Jam last year at the bike park. You see the American River in the back. That's their bike park. And, pretty fun event. Questions? Yeah, that's not even all of our events. Yeah. So which one, Shockley or for? No, so you're talking about Shockley? Is there plans for it? No, there's no plans for Shockley. But there's challenges with that property. I mean, anything we would do to make improvements up there would be costly because, as you're aware, there's really no access. The access to the property is kind of crap. There's no parking. All that would all have to be improved, even just minimally. It's just up there. I mean, when we go up there to go do work, we pull off onto the side of the road, and hopefully your vehicles have enough clearance to get out of it. No, there's not. It's a good place for our guys to practice chainsaw work and weeding. Yeah. We don't have any plans for it right now. There's trails up there right now if you want to go walk them. You probably know. There's trails there. There's people walking them every day. Oh, okay. Yeah. You want to go? Yeah, go walk it right now. So, I'm sorry, stand shoes. Yeah. Yes. No, that's going to continue through. Last time I asked was out quite a few years now. I don't know if you guys have any updates on it from the county, but yeah, that's really more tied to the single affordable housing. No. There's gonna be a connecting trail. So it says, well, there'll be a connecting trail going down to just be a walking trail that'll parallel to the road. It'll eventually go. Okay. The whole community. But lap pool wise, yeah. Yeah, and that pool, especially in June and July, it's programmed from 6:45 in the morning to about 9:30 at night. Solid. There's no place to squeeze in extra stuff. So, yeah, during those months, it's tough. I mean, we had years ago, we had a year-round swim team that tried to start there. Bumping up against that was hard enough. Their biggest problem was just keeping up with the costs. Keeping that pool heated in December is very costly. I don't know what they do. I know that there's a swim team that works out of there in the summer, but I don't know what they do. I think they might do some lessons there. I'm not quite sure. And I know that is the only. So that pool, Sierra Pool, right over here is Placer High's pool, it's Colfax High pool, it's a community pool, it's a pool. And if people ask this, and I'll just say for the record, does the pool have a green tint to it right now? Yeah. The water's not green.
Totally forgot to do my formatics.
Somehow some copper got in the water.
5 minutes to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills, 7:55 AM. If you're just joining us, we're doing what we do on Tuesdays during the 7 o'clock hour. We're joining into the Auburn Meddlers meeting. Today, we're hearing from guest speaker Cale Muscott from Auburn Recreation District. Let's go back as they finish out the meeting.
Yes, Jack.
Is there more things to have the Meadow Vista pool open?
Ooh, the Meadow Vista pool.
Last year. Pools are what? I said this before. Pools are what? They're great. I'm an aquatics person by background. My whole life's been aquatics. I love aquatics. But pools are a black hole that you throw money into. Do you have any suggestions on who that would be?
Let's bring up unicorn fun facts.
Great suggestion. Other questions?
Because today is Unicorn Day.
I don't think there's anybody online.
Well done.
All right, thank you.
Ooh, I didn't think he'd go the whole hour.
Got it? Bang your gavel.
And 7:56 AM, 6 minutes or 4 minutes to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills. We were just listening into the Auburn Meddlers meeting. Finished a little bit early. I wondered if Cale was going to go the full time. He was going through some updates here that Auburn Recreation District is doing over the next month, actually over the next year. So a lot of good stuff lined up for summer. The Ain't Necessarily Dead Music Fest is coming up. I think that's going to be in September. Said that they had about 5,000 people there last year. So that was probably one of the biggest events that were happening. So super interesting to hear all of the updates and everything that is going on here, not only in Auburn, but in Placer County, our surrounding areas here as well. All right, we're going to finish out this hour. We'll just turn back into America's First News here for a little bit, just for a couple more minutes, and then we'll come back at the top of the hour. See you back here right after this.
expected to increase when Nielsen releases final numbers today. Nielsen says the audience peaked at 24 million. It's the most watched basketball game since 2019, when the men's NCAA title game between Virginia and Texas Tech averaged 19.6 million on CBS. A person with a ticket matching all 6 Powerball numbers in Saturday's $1.3 billion jackpot came forward Monday to claim the prize, according to Oregon lottery officials. The ticket was purchased at a Plaid Pantry convenience store in the northeast part of the city. Oregon Lottery is working with the person in the process that involves security measures. The jackpot has a cash value of $621 million if the winner chooses to take the lump sum, rather than the annuity, with an immediate payout followed by 29 annual installments. You can reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You're listening to America's First News on this Tuesday morning, the 9th day of April. Grab the coffee. Let's go.
Let's go. A unicorn horn, usually called an alicorn, is a mythical artifact whose reality has been acknowledged in Europe and Asia since the beginning of written history. Beliefs related to the magical powers of the alicorn heavily influenced medicine in the 1700s. The alicorn was one of the most expensive, well-known remedies throughout the Renaissance, and its usage in the most eminent circles was justified by the numerous therapeutic and antidotal properties that were given to it. People continued to believe in the alicorn's healing powers until the narwhal, the natural source, was identified in the 16th century. The alicorn, which is essentially an elongated tooth in the mouths of certain males and some females, is born by this marine animal. Since then, the unicorn horn has been mentioned in fiction, role-playing, and video games because of its fabled symbolism. Unicorns are one of 4 spiritual creatures. Okay.
FM 104.5,
Interesting. All right.
And AM 950, KAHI, Auburn.
And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950, KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Happy Tuesday to you. You were listening in last hour. We were tuning into the Auburn Meddlers meeting. The Auburn Chamber of Commerce has that meeting every Tuesday, and my goodness gracious, I actually love it. It's one of the I was just sitting here thinking it's one of the things that I really love, and the joy of having our own little local radio station here. It's small but mighty. KAHI right here is talking about just how we can hear what's going on locally. Like, so many things happen nationally. We get the national news all the time. I know I don't have to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. But just how much I love about being able to hear from local leaders, from local community members, from local participants who are coming in saying, like, hey, here's what's available in our area. Here's how people are coming out, how they're having fun. When we promoted it forever here, the skating night that happened a couple Friday nights ago, and 250 people came out to that. It was at the gym there at Regional Park. Like, my goodness gracious, something that, hey, used to have a skating rink here on Nevada Street. Maybe I don't know, maybe somebody will start a skating rink. Maybe there's enough demand with people coming out as we get the word out there about things. So super proud to be able to help communicate that out to our community and the regional surroundings as well. So thanks so much for joining me, showing a little bit of local pride here and local KAHI pride here as we help broadcast and partner with our community events and sponsors and all that to tell you what's going on in the news today. As you'll hear throughout the day, we're going to talk about the Auburn Spring Fest that's happening. Auburn Downtown Business Association is having that on April 20th. I'll continue to keep you up to date on that. Also, the Blue Jean Bonanza happening on the 20th is so much good stuff. And hey, as a reminder, if you missed it, I'm going to talk to Mary Jane again, Mary Jane Pop, on Friday. We're going to see what's coming up on her show, but Mary Jane is back. So excited to have Mary Jane back. She's got a new show, Pop Talk, In Search of Truth. Now, that is going to be on the air here from 5 to 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Now, if you miss it, you can hear it again. You can hear it run again from 9 to 11 p.m. on Sunday evenings, and you can catch it anytime online at KAHI.com. Just go to audio on demand there. But so good to have Mary Jane back, and we just decided to make a Friday date. We're just going to make a date on Friday where her and I are going to connect. We're going to talk about what she's got coming up this weekend, just kind of get an update and make sure that we're keeping up to date with Mary Jane. So I am super excited about that, and we've got other great stuff coming up as well. Hey, today, just a fun fact, by the way. Today, so I bought a calendar at Grocery Outlet. It was on sale for $1, but it basically says, all the different days. Like today's like Raisin Muffin Day and Banana Bread Day, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm hungry. Food's just coming to mind. But today is Unicorn Day. That's a fun one. So talking about unicorns, here's a fun fact about. In fact, I'm putting that in air quotes because I'm getting it off the internet. But people believe that unicorn horns could heal diseases. Now, I thought unicorns didn't exist, but hey, here we go. A unicorn horn, usually called an alicorn, is a mythical artifact whose reality has been acknowledged in Europe and Asia since the beginning of written history. Beliefs related to the magical powers of the alicorn heavily influenced medicine in the 1700s. The alicorn was one of the most expensive and well-known remedies throughout the Renaissance, and its usage in the most eminent circles was justified by the numerous therapeutic and antidotal properties that were given to it. People continued to believe in the alicorn's healing power until the narwhal, which we all know from Elf, that movie. That's how my kids know about it. Oh, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. The natural source was identified in the 16th century. The alicorn, which is essentially an elongated tooth. Now, I didn't know this. An elongated tooth in the mouths of certain males and some females is born by this marine animal, born, B-O-R-N-E, by this marine animal. Since then, the unicorn horn has been mentioned in fiction, role-playing games, video games, because of its fabled symbolism. So, it's interesting fun facts about unicorns there. Some other things. The Greeks, turns out the Greeks believe that unicorns existed. Here's another fun fact. Unicorns don't have wings. I know sometimes we see them having wings or pictured with wings. In Chinese tradition, unicorns are one of 4 spiritual creatures. Unicorns, let's see here, are unicorns symbolize different things in different cultures. The early Christians gave the unicorn to Saint Justina as a symbol of purity. So lots of mythology around unicorns on this Unicorn Day. It's a very unique day. Hey, we need to find out what our day is looking like with the weather. For that, we're going to turn to meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking for today?
Sunny, dry, sunny weather in the forecast for the next few days. It'll be up around 70 today, 75 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday, all with that spring sunshine in the forecast. And light variable winds expected. Mostly clear tonight, that overnight temperature 45 to 50, and Wednesday night should be mostly clear around 50. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid-60s. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
5 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your Fox business report, also traffic. We'll take a look at our roadways, make sure that we know what's going on out there. Again, reminder, Mary Jane Pop is back. Pop Talk, in search of truth, playing on the weekends, Saturdays from 5 to 7 a.m. and 9 to 11 p.m. on Sundays, in case you missed that. Mary Jane is back. We're so glad to have her back here. We're going to go back now to America's First News, and I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Tuesday morning, America's First News continues on this 9th day of April. Special Counsel Jack Smith's team urged the Supreme Court Monday night to reject former President Donald Trump's claim that he's immune from prosecution in a case charging him with scheming to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election.
Fox Business Report.
For prosecutors was submitted just over 2 weeks before justices.
That'll do it for the unicorns. Thank you, unicorns.
Whether an ex-president
don't call us, we'll call you.
For official actions,
government tire cleanup.
They wrote a president's alleged
Members
scheme to use his official powers to overturn the presidential
fun facts are
election.
there. Scores. We need to keep that up because we still have sports ball to do.
A man opened fire during a deposition hearing in a child.
Other than that, I don't think I have.
Neighborhood of Las Vegas, leaving 2 very specific.
Dad jokes.
Before the shooter killed himself.
Oh shoot!
To police. Homicide.
I'm gonna do that at the bottom of the hour.
Said at a news conference, the shooter, a man in his 70s, killed himself.
All right. What are we gonna do for dad jokes? Dad jokes.
He said the children at the center of the custody case were accounted for.
What weighs more, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane? Water. Butane is a lighter fluid.
Gaza city of Rafah, which is filled with around
That's good. I'm going to use that
one. The Gaza Strip. But the international community, including the U.S., opposes the operation, saying the roughly 1.4 million civilians seeking shelter there will be in danger. Israel is insisting it has a plan to protect the civilians. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller.
So we have not yet seen them present a credible plan for dealing with the 1.4 million
in our Dad Jokes channel.
Rafah.
Some work.
Have moved more than once, some of whom have moved more than twice. But even more than that, we have made clear to Israel that we think a full-scale military invasion of Rafah would have an enormously harmful effect on those civilians, and that it would ultimately.
What weighs more, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane? Water. Butane is a lighter fluid.
Plan to us. We have made clear then that we think that there is a better way to achieve what is a legitimate goal, which is to degrade and dismantle and defeat the Hamas.
Got that ready to go.
Miller took a victory lap as Israel's finally allowed aid to flow, but he wouldn't say why Israel changed its policy after 6 months of war. Biden warned Netanyahu for the first time recently that U.S. support could be conditioned on Israel doing more to improve the humanitarian situation. Senate Democrat Chris Van Hollen is pushing Biden to reveal what consequences he plans to impose if Netanyahu doesn't change.
Jesse. We'll do Jesse's. We'll do a leftover eclipse joke. I have a great eclipse joke. But I probably shouldn't tell it here. It's pretty dark.
That if you don't follow these, my requests, that there will be consequences. But the president and the White House have yet to lay out what consequences they have and they want to impose. And we have had a situation where for months the president has made requests to the Netanyahu government. They have ignored those requests, and we've sent more to
that comes through before
we cannot read it back to that. We have to make sure that when the president
there it is.
that we have a means to enforce it.
Van Hollen making the comment to CBS. Israel's military said Saturday.
Then,
farmer who was held hostage in Gaza.
they have breakfast there today.
Pressure on Israel's government for
He's at your desk, but he's
the remaining hostages free.
It starts in half an hour.
Gathered in Tel Aviv to call for a deal as well as early elections. Australia has appointed retired National Defense Chief Mark Vinskin to look into how Israel Defense Forces came to kill 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers, including Australian Zoe Franco. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said Monday he expected Israel to fully cooperate with Vinskin as Australia's special advisor on Israel's response to the missile strikes.
That one, Irish do a great job.
In the transparency and accountability of any investigation, we will continue to work to achieve that. This can't be brushed aside. And people have been raising concerns for some time about what is occurring in relation to humanitarian workers. This has been a deadly failure of deconfliction. We expect that if the investigation finds that IDF personnel have not acted in accordance with the law or procedures, that appropriate action be taken against those personnel and that such action be made public.
All right, there it is.
Ascertained. Once the facts are ascertained, appropriate action needs to be taken. I would again say,
all right, my wife loves it when I shred cheese. I always do a great job.
Vinskin, who served as Australian Defence Force Chief from 2014 to 2018, will advise the government on the sufficiency and appropriateness of steps taken by the Israeli government in response to the fatal attack, which the Israeli military has described as an error. The U.S. is still weighing the results of the Israeli probe. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is raising red flags over Capital One's planned acquisition of Discover.
Okay, so we've got, 2.5 minutes? Tell our
the deal combines the nation's 4th and 6th largest charge card
next
providers.
segment here.
So this would be the largest credit
Fox
card
Business
merger on record.
And then I've got
And
traffic.
When there's consolidation,
Do we have any
consumer
traffic?
pays
Let's
the
see.
price.
Oh, yeah, there's
So
traffic.
we're
Oh,
asking
shoot.
a whole lot of questions
Accidents.
about this merger.
50
Because
westbound at
we're
Matherfield Road.
in terms of
Another
raising
one.
prices.
Shoulder
Today,
block.
I'm
50 westbound
demanding
at Hazel.
answers on this merger. before any green light is given.
When did that one?
Capital One,
That was
the
like
financial
756.
resources will amount to
Recent.
more sales for merchants and better deals for consumers.
Highway 50,
and
what's
small
going on?
business. Capital One is shelling out
Slow
$35
65
billion to create a company
southbound.
that could top JP Morgan Chase and Citigroup as the country's biggest
Slow
credit
Cap
card
City.
loans provider. A person
Slow
with a ticket
80, slow
matching all
5.
six Powerball numbers in Saturday's
Yeesh.
$1.3
Got an
billion
accident report at
jackpot
Fruit
came
Ridge.
forward Monday to claim the prize, according to the Oregon
And
Lottery
I-5
officials. The ticket
southbound.
was purchased at a
I-5
Fat
north
Bakery
of
convenience
Florida.
store in the northeast part of the
Ooh.
city. Oregon Lottery is working with the person in a
Yeesh.
process that involves security measures. The jackpot has a cash value of $621 million.
All right,
If the
well,
winner chooses to take the lump sum.
Turns out, slowing down around Alder Creek Road. Eastbound 50 up towards Tahoe, so we're slow. Alder Creek and Alder Bridge. America's First
News with Matt Ray. It's coming. It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold.
Well, actually, crisp fall mornings were quite a while ago.
Imagine how your engine feels after a frosty
So
night.
this commercial needs to be
Freezing
replaced.
fluids, especially fuel.
But this
As
is
temperatures
the
drop,
national
water
feed,
is
so nothing we
emulsifying
can do
and
about it.
fuel is released, adding more water into your system. Frozen water in your
All
fuel
right.
lines filter or roll will simply slow the flow, or worse, stop the flow of fuel in your system. No fuel flow, no start. Get
Forgot to
prepared
schedule
now
that
for the cold that is coming. Hot
That's
Shot
okay.
Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65
Do it
degrees.
when I get home.
If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home.
All right, 10 seconds, Adam.
Hot Shot
We're gonna
Secret
call
Diesel
out.
Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at
Meta Vista.
hotshotsecret.com. Powered by science.
And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Meadow Vista. Currently 50 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 69 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now to the Fox Business Report.
Susan Lee, and this
Report.
is the Fox Business Report.
Report.
Stocks open higher. Investors are anticipating the latest inflation reading coming out tomorrow. The Consumer Price Index for March.
Imitation is the
Parent of Google is making
best
more
form of flattery. Is that what they say?
artificial intelligence. The Wall Street Journal says the Axion chip will compete with other big chip makers. Also, Google Cloud and Accenture will help Best Buy to offer advice and troubleshooting using artificial intelligence. Alphabet shares rose 1% at the open. Norfolk Southern says it has reached an agreement in principle to settle a class action lawsuit brought after last year's derailment in Ohio. The $600 million settlement still must be approved by the court. BP shares are up 1.5% after the energy giant predicted it will benefit from higher oil and gas production. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jennifer Soda.
Invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since
1877.
The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at AmericanHumane.com.
Wow, 2023 saw home insurance soar out of control, forcing many people to actually contemplate selling their home. Brandon Harris here to say it's not all doom and gloom. At Homer Insurance,
No,
you'll
doom and
talk to
gloom.
real insurance experts
Brandon.
that have real solutions. We work with dozens of real estate companies
Traffic.
helping their agents solve problems every day. If you think you're paying too much, give us a crack and call Homer Insurance today at 916-339-7070. 916-339-7070.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:16 a.m. Let's take a look outside at our traffic on our roadways right now. 50 westbound. What's going on there? It looks like we have an accident reported. That has a shoulder block. That's US 50 westbound at Hazel Avenue there. It's reported just a few minutes ago. So heads up if you're coming down 50 westbound, you've got an accident there. It doesn't look like it's slowing up too much behind it, but Your woes continue on 50 here. If you go down a little bit further, accident shoulder block, that's 50 westbound at Matherfield Road. So that's starting to slow things down there. And then slowing down as you're getting into downtown on 50 there around Watt and Howe Avenue, right around there. So heads up, 50 a little bit slower today. If you see some folks on the side of the road, again, make sure you're giving them a break. Give some space there. 80 westbound as you're coming into Sacramento today, slowing there too. 80 westbound, slowing right around Antelope Boulevard all the way to the Cap City split. Cap City Freeway slow all the way into Sacramento. 80 westbound over to I-5 though, looking pretty good right now, slowing right near when it intersects with I-5. I-5 northbound looking pretty good. Southbound, on the other hand, I-5 southbound, if you're coming back from the airport, for instance, slowing down a little bit as the commute is heading into Sacramento. And 65 southbound, if you're coming in from Lincoln, to 80, slowing down around Pleasant Grove and Blue Oaks, as we would expect this time of day. That is your traffic. Back with more right after this.
KAHI cares. Here's another KAHI Community Bulletin Board.
The American Cancer Society Discovery Shop needs your donations of new and gently used merchandise. Items include clothing, jewelry, bric-a-brac, home decor,
honestly
and more.
never hear this
Donations
commercial
are
again,
tax-deductible
and I would be
support
fine.
cancer patients locally and nationwide. They also need volunteers daily.
Ooh, and then we have Hearts of Space promo coming up.
Grass Valley Highway in Auburn. For more information,
It freaks
call
me out.
530-888-7434.
Bum, 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 bum.
This is Stephen Hill. Hearts of Space. Sunday nights at 8. You're on the all-new FM 104.5. They have 950 KAHI. Same voice in the foothills. More power to you.
Oh, I don't have sports ball because I'm doing dad jokes. Oh. 18 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, your daily dad jokes. That's right, we didn't have them last hour because we had a meddlers meeting. We're going to do the daily dad jokes. We always get those in because they're daily. They're dad jokes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. Dad jokes coming up in the next segment at the bottom of the hour. Back now to America's First News. See you back here in just a bit.
Tuesday morning, America's First News continues on this April 9th, and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida begins a much anticipated visit to Washington today, aiming to solve
Dad jokes ready to go?
provocative Chinese military action in the
All right.
and at a rare
Check the inbox just to make sure no more have come in. Perfect.
An iconic U.S. company. Kishida and his wife will stop by the White House Tuesday
Okay.
evening ahead of Wednesday's official
Okay.
state dinner.
Off to edit the news. Back after this.
He sees as the cornerstone of his Indo-Pacific policy. Kishida will be the fifth world leader honored by Biden with a state dinner since he took office in 2021. For conservative anti-abortion Christians, former President Donald Trump delivered in 4 years what no other Republican before him had been able to do: a conservative majority Supreme Court that would go on to overturn Roe v. Wade. With abortion rights now controlled by each state rather than legalized nationwide by the 1973 court ruling, Trump made clear Monday that he would not be leading the push for a federal abortion ban as he vies for a second term in office. In making the announcement, Trump lied.
Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable. And almost everyone agrees with that.
None of that is actually happening. Some anti-abortion religious leaders criticized Trump's approach, while others gave thanks for Trump's past anti-abortion wins and vowed to keep pressing for federal restrictions.
I want to thank the 6 justices, Chief Justice John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch, incredible people, for having the courage to allow this long-term, hard-fought battle to finally end. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing.
Vice President Kamala Harris slammed Trump for bragging about helping overturn Roe v. Wade.
The former president, yet again, declaring how proud he is of his responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. He yet again said he's proudly responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. And one has to ask, proudly responsible that 1 in 3 women of reproductive age now live in a state with an abortion ban? Proudly responsible that doctors and nurses can now be jailed in some states for life for providing care? Proudly responsible that states have passed bans with no exception even for rape or incest? And let's all be very clear. If he were to be put back in a position where he could sign off on a law, he would sign off on a national abortion ban. Let's be very clear about that. And that obviously makes the contrast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump quite clear. We are very clear, and Joe Biden has been clear. If Congress passes a law reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade, Joe Biden will sign it into law. So we protect and we believe in a woman's decision and ability to make a decision based on what is in her best interest, not having her government tell her what to do.
Senator Lindsey Graham, one of Trump's congressional backers and a supporter of a 15-week national ban, said he respectfully disagreed with Trump over abortion being an issue for the states. Mike Pence, who served as his vice president on X, called the stance a slap in the face to millions of pro-life Americans who have previously backed Trump. President Joe Biden said Monday that more than 30 million borrowers would see life-changing relief from his new plan to ease their student loan debt burdens, a fresh attempt by the Democratic president to follow through on a campaign pledge that could buoy his standing with younger voters. He detailed the initiative, which has been in the works for months, during a trip to Wisconsin, one of a handful of battlegrounds that could decide the outcome of Biden's likely November rematch with Trump.
Today, I'm proud to announce 5 major actions to continue to relieve student debt for more than 30 million Americans since I started my administration. First, my administration will propose a new rule to cancel up to $20,000 in runaway interest for any borrower that owes more now than when they started paying the loan. It's a big difference. And for low and middle class families enrolled in my SAVE program, will cancel all of your interest. And second, we plan to cancel student debt for borrowers who still owe student loans, even though they started repaying them more than 2 decades ago. Folks, third, we plan to cancel debt for about 2 million borrowers who would be eligible for debt forgiveness through the SAVE program. Fourth, we plan to cancel debt for borrowers who the Department of Education determines were cheated by universities that left students with unaffordable loans and delivered little in benefits to students. And you know one of those colleges was closed. I won't mention it. And finally, the Department of Education will propose a new rule to cancel student debt for Americans facing financial hardships, from child care to health care, to prevent them from paying back their loans.
Biden originally attempted to cancel people's student debt through executive action, but now he's turned to the rulemaking process. The president hopes to begin forgiving student debt before the November election. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics announced a policy Monday that bans transgender athletes from competing in women's sports at its 241 mostly small colleges across the country. The NAIA Council of Presidents approved the policy in a 20-0 vote. It oversees some 83,000 athletes competing in more than 25 sports and is believed to be the first college sports organization to take such a step. According to the transgender participation policy, which goes into effect in August, all athletes may participate in NAIA-sponsored male sports, but only athletes whose biological sex assigned at birth is female and have not begun hormone therapy will be allowed to participate in women's sports. For the 10th consecutive month, Earth in March set a new monthly record for global heat, with both air temperatures and the world's oceans hitting an all-time high for the month, according to the European Union's climate agency. Copernicus said March of 2024 averaged 57.9 degrees Fahrenheit, exceeding the previous record from 2016 by 1/10 of a degree, and it was 3 degrees warmer than in the late 1800s, the base used for temperatures before the burning of fossil fuels began growing rapidly. Since the last June, the globe has broken heat records each month, with marine heat waves across large areas of the globe's oceans contributing. Asian stocks were mostly higher Tuesday, with investors mainly focusing on a U.S. inflation report and what it means for interest rate cuts by the Fed Reserve. An update on the U.S. Consumer Price Index is due out later Wednesday. U.S. stock indexes were at a virtual standstill Monday as trading calmed after a whirlwind couple of days left them a bit shy of their records. A string of reports showing inflation and the economy have remained hotter than expected has led investors to delay forecasts for when relief on rates could arrive. Millions across North America witnessed the moon black out the sun during a total solar eclipse Monday. The path of totality stretched from Mazatlan, Mexico to Newfoundland, an area that crossed 15 U.S. states and home to 44 million people. Most of those in North America, but not in the direct path, still saw a partial eclipse, with the moon transforming the sun into a fiery crescent. Totality's first stop on land cast Mazatlan sparkling beaches into darkness before continuing northeast toward Eagle Pass, Texas, one of its first stops in the U.S. Total solar eclipses happen about every year or two or three due to a precise alignment of the sun, moon, and earth. They can happen anywhere across the globe, usually in remote areas like the South Pacific. The next full solar eclipse will happen in 2026. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way on this Tuesday morning. It's the 9th day of April. We're just getting started. Grab the coffee and let's go.
America's First News.
Hey everyone, Joanne Butler here with Spring Must-Haves you have to know about. Let's start with Starbucks. Well, they're making it even better right now for spring, celebrating big time with 2 new lavender flavored drinks. They're just so good. The lavender cream matcha and lavender latte, they're both beautifully filled, super delicious, creamy, every sip just
Okay. Last segment.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory.
Great.
Gun burglars, they're in charge. And the big shakedown is in
4 minutes.
When the gum's stuck under your desk, what's better than what's...
Check our dad joke. It's time for your daily dad jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes. Today's dad jokes brought to us by...
Any kind, anywhere
Zoned
in the
out there.
building. No Christmas either.
All right.
And if your
And we're
house
going to
is
shout out
infested with men,
Lake of the
you're gonna need
Pines.
to tone it down.
Lake of the Pines? I don't know why I got a southern accent there real
While
quick.
they
Lake of
get
the
over
Pines.
insult of turkey.
30
So
seconds,
if you're
Adam.
one of those who still cut your own grass, you'll understand all this. Remember, socialism is what happens when the sewer backs up. Sure, you can still buy toilet water at the
Understand
mall,
what this
but
guy's saying.
it doesn't mean you should. It's critical Otis theory. And remember your Uncle Otis secret decoder ring to pick up all the hidden messages in this stupid bit. That drives him crazy. There's your Uncle Otis.
And good Tuesday morning to you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 52 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a balmy 70-degree high today. All right, we missed it last hour, but have no fear. The daily dad jokes are here. That's right, make you laugh, sigh. If you're my wife, probably roll your eyes to the back of your head. But that's right. We are going to keep on with it. If you want to send me yours, you can send me yours at live@kahi.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. Checking the inbox here from Jesse R. Here we go. First dad joke of the day. And this is a little late to the party, but we've got one more eclipse jokes. We did eclipse jokes yesterday, but we got one more. This is a good one. I have a great eclipse joke, but I probably shouldn't tell it here. It's pretty dark. Oh, that's a good one, Jesse. Jesse R. emailed that one in. I have a great eclipse joke, but I probably shouldn't tell it here. It's pretty dark. Oh, producer Adam gave that one an applause. All right, 2 times a charm there. Okay, thanks, Jesse, for sending that one in. All right, how about this one? All right, cut the applause. There we go. Here, how about this one? What weighs more, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane? Water. Butane is a lighter fluid. What weighs more, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane? A gallon of water. Butane is a lighter fluid. Okay, I said it better the first time. Lighter fluid, get it like lighter fluid. All right, Adam, give me one more here. All right, here we go. My wife loves it when I shred cheese. I always do a great job. Oh, okay. All right, let's try one more time. My wife loves it when I shred cheese. I always do a great job. There we go. There's the rim shot. And those are your daily dad jokes for this Tuesday, April 9th. Again, send me yours live at KAHI.com. Save me from myself for picking these ones. Or you can call me 530-885-3565. Back with your KAHI weather with meteorologist Tim Root right after this.
What are you doing Sunday?
Oh, what are you doing Sunday, baby?
Join me for the KAHI Swap Drop this Sunday morning.
All right, get rid of these,
get rid
of these dad jokes. They were okay.
Starting date here on FM 104.5, AM 950, and KAHI.com. The voice of the foothill.
Oh, what do you say now? Okay, you're up, Timmy. What are you doing Sunday, baby?
Tuesday morning, dry, sunny weather in the forecast for the next few days. It'll be up around 70 today, 75 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday, all with that spring sunshine in the forecast. And light variable winds expected. Mostly clear tonight, at overnight temperature 45 to 50. And Wednesday night should be mostly clear around 50. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid-60s. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:33 a.m. Gang, that is going to do it for me today. We're going to finish out the hour as we do with America's First News and the O'Reilly Report. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Chris Quant here with you, holding it down in Studio A from 6 to 9-ish. We'll say 8:30 because we finish out with the O'Reilly Report. Don't forget, Mary Jane Pop is back on the airways with her new show, Pop Talk, In Search of Truth. That airs Saturday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. and Sunday evenings again from 9 to 11 p.m. You can catch it anytime on KAHI.com. Until we meet again, gang, remember to be kind, be honest, be yourself, and remember you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Back now to America's First News. Say it with a smile. They can hear it in your voice. Plus, I am smiling. I love doing this.
And a deal to release hostages
All right.
Gaza is difficult.
I have a meeting that is starting right now that I need to get to.
He made the remarks Monday after
But he's just going to have to wait until I put everything away.
Discussed the need for Israel and Hamas to resolve their conflict. Lapid's visiting Washington as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Fortunately, it's a Zoom meeting, so I can just tune in on my phone. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Bye. Thanks for joining me.